Table Topics includes the Table Topics master talking about a subject, and then at random picking on a victim to speak about the subject for approximately a minute and a half to 1 to 2 minutes. Excuse me. So here we go. I am sticking with the theme. Leadership and communication are codependent on each other. And I looked up an article from Forbes magazine about the importance of being a good communicator to be a successful leader. A couple of the points that the Forbes article discussed was in communicating with people, you want to focus on the leave behind, on what you're leaving behind with the people instead of what you're taking away from the people that you're communicating with. And I think this is a very good point. In fact, the reason I chose the college I did was because the president of the college left us with a great leave behind. He said, "Are you a comparative person or a contributive person? Do you compare your life to other people, or do you focus your life on how you can contribute to the world? I challenge you to contribute to the world." And I thought that was a great leave behind, and I chose the college because of the president's message. So, Bruce, have you ever heard a speech that left you with a very good leave behind that inspired you to do something or change the way you thought?
Madam Table Topics Master, yes, I have. I'm old enough that I'm one of the people who heard Martin Luther King's speech live. And he moved me to tears. He said things that crystallized a lot of fuzziness in my mind and put me on his team. He recruited me, and I didn't go down to the Deep South and march with them, but I was completely in support of them as they did, and I cried with them as they were abused and incarcerated. And I was full of joy as their sacrifice was fruitful. They won. And they're still winning. It's still a process. But they changed the world because of Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King and a few other people who were willing to put themselves out and spearhead that with that amazing speech of Dr. King's. The world has changed, and that aspect of it, at least, is improving because of that one magnificent speech. So yes, I did. Thank you.
Thank you. The Forbes article also suggests that the key to being a great leader and a great communicator is listening, and in listening, keeping an open mind about subjects that you might already have an opinion on. The article doesn't suggest that you need to change your opinion, but that you cannot motivate other people to change their opinion if you don't understand the other side. Rick, have you ever had a conversation or been to a speech where you decided, I'm just gonna listen to this and see what happens? You kept an open mind, and it actually changed your view a little bit on this certain subject.
Yes, I have, as a matter of fact. I go to a lot of meetings as a commissioner, And I see a lot of people that do not have an open mind, and they become acrimonious with each other because they do not listen to the other person. They shut out their mind, and they have this concept that they're right and these other guys are wrong, and they don't want to hear something that could possibly change that or is contradictory to what they believe. I went to a meeting and they talked about Obamacare. And it was very good because it talked about the facts and the myths. And if you look at what the facts really are, then you can see that some of the things that have been said acrimoniously are myths. They're not really true. There are good things and there are bad things about that, but the speech I listened to was so well prepared and just had it laid out so that you could pick up, well, this is good, this is bad. And even with that, some of the people in the audience would ask questions in kind of an acrimonious way. They couldn't accept that was not, it wasn't a good thing, no matter what they heard. But the speech did open my mind, and I decided I'm going to look at both sides of this. And I think that it's a start on maybe altering the health care in the United States.
Thank you, Rick. Bruce, I apologize. I didn't start the applause for you after your speech. I think it was an awkward distance. Okay, Tom, you're up next. I'll throw you a somewhat of a softball. Who is a person that you admire as a good leader and why?
Thank you, Madam Vice President. I have experienced or been in the presence of many good leaders, very few great leaders though. And I feel that I can't single out any one, but there is a general consensus that the qualities of a good leader come from the heart, and they actually care about what they're doing. So if you want to listen to somebody and to follow them, then really you should listen more with your heart than with your mind. However, of course, the leader has to be logical and not crazy enough off the wall. And unfortunately, especially like in northern Idaho, we've seen leadership develop that was based on acrimonious ideals. And like many other acrimonious organizations, they went the way of the albatross. And, so when I think about leaders and leadership, it's more of a concept and how the person communicates it rather than who the person is. Because we don't have that many Mahatma Gandhis running around here anymore.
Thank you. Should I keep going?
Keep going.
Okay. Jan, how has Toastmasters helped you become a better communicator and leader?
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, this is one of my favorite topics because I do feel that Toastmasters has helped me to be able to communicate much better. I just don't have a voice that cooperates with it today. and become a better leader. I am much more aware of what I'm saying, my stance. Being able to do table topics is proven to be very beneficial to me. Tim would be so proud, right? As I do get an opportunity to speak quite frequently in front of groups, and I have meal sites 4 days a week. And so people are constantly asking me questions, wanting to know information, and I'm asked once in a while, like I said, to give group talks. I am very much more aware of the start-overs like I just did, and to think on my feet more quickly and clearer. So in that way, I am very grateful to Toastmasters for giving me the opportunity to practice these things in this environment before I get out there and make a fool out of myself. Thank you.
Hold on a second. I can figure out how to make this.
You need to point the end of it at the.
The end
Yes.
of it.
There you go.
Okay. I will have no more trouble with that one.
Have you ever heard a speech that significantly impacted your life? Where you were moved to change a direction you were going in your life, or to simply get healthy? And what was that speech?
Fellow Toastmasters, I guess I would have to say that speech would have been actually a series of speeches, a lot of speeches, a lot of lectures and presentations that was given to me from a teacher of home funerals and green burial. And her teachings and her speeches to the group that I was with at the time were making a big impression on everybody there. And it probably did change the direction of my life, even. Because now I want to introduce that concept to the people in Ontario and this surrounding area. And that's actually why I even joined Toastmasters, to try to learn how to not be so fearful and not get so acrimonious about having to make a speech, having to think something up to speak about. So I would have to say that Jerry Grace Lyons is her name, and she is a matriarch of the home funeral green burial movement, which has been going on in the United States for 18 years, but not a lot of people even know about it as yet. It's taken a long time to switch from funeral homes handling people's death care to families taking that power back upon themselves the way it used to be years ago in the United States, where it was a family affair to take care of a death in the family. Thank you.
Thank you. Hand it back over to our Toastmasters.